It's time for Perspective, an informative half hour about issues concerning the state and our area. Perspective with your host, Lynette Nelson.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Perspective with Lynette Nelson on WTUA 106.1 FM. For today's edition of Perspective, we have a new author, a businesswoman, and a mother, Miss Shaneka Newell. Hello, welcome to the studios of WTUA.
Hi, thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be a part of this.
Okay, Miss Newell, tell us a little bit about yourself.
So, as she said, my name is Shaneka Lynette Newell, and I am from a small town in Wilkesboro County, Lane, South Carolina to be exact. Growing up, I grew up in another state, but my family is from Wilkesboro County. I did everything my parents told me to do. I went to school, went to college, got a nice job. That's what most parents, want for their kids.
Absolutely.
And so I did that. But at the same time, the county where we're in is not really a big county that
not many opportunities.
Right. Mm-hmm. So, unfortunately, I started to have kids myself.
Okay.
And I started to think that I had a great childhood. My parents took care of me and my siblings really well. But at the same time, now that I had kids, I didn't really have a whole lot of wealth or income to be able to take care of them. It's crazy because I do have 2 degrees,
mm-hmm.
And I had state jobs.
Mm-hmm.
But for the most part, you still don't have enough to be able to save, vacation, get whatever they want or need,
right.
and still be able to live comfortable.
Right. Now, let me ask you this. So was it your goal? A lot of people say we want every generation to do better than the generation before. Is that something that motivated you?
Exactly. That was my actual number one motivation. I felt like my parents growing up, they probably didn't have as much as they provided for me and my siblings.
Right.
And so I said to myself, well, now that I grew up the way that we did, it's only fair for me to try to provide more for my children. And hopefully they'll be able to do the same for theirs, and it'll continue to go on. A lot of people try to figure out how does the wealthy continue to stay wealthy through generations. Well, a lot of it is their parents, they have different investments. They have different streams of income. A lot of us say we want to be millionaires, but we don't realize we're going to have at least 7 streams of income in order for us to be able to be in that space and in that bracket.
Right.
Well, I knew that the where I was at, it wasn't no 7 streams of income. So my dreams of becoming a millionaire was way far in the background.
So that means that you would have to do something different in order to attain a different result.
Exactly. And the crazy thing is, when I was a kid, I used to have like a playhouse of me teaching. So my brother and my sister and my doll babies would be my first students. And I would literally threaten their life and make them sit there and listen to me teach. My mom and dad bought me a chalkboard and crayons and books, and I would act like I'm teaching. But, as life went on, I just kind of put that teaching, to the back burner, and I just lived life. And so, recently, probably like 7 years ago, I started to realize that, man, I have 3 beautiful daughters, and then I helped raise 2 more boys. And I started to realize I need more income. These kids are growing.
Yes.
They're growing at a rapid rate.
Yes, and children are very expensive.
Listen, tell me about it. And so, they want the newest clothes. They want Jordans. They want, all these names, Polo. They don't want, back in the day, we didn't really care about wardrobe as much as these kids do now.
Yes, there is that
but
pressure.
They're really...
Yeah,
yes,
they do have that.
Yeah, so they're really expensive. And so, it was getting to the point that it was starting to stress me because I started to realize, man, I have a state job. I have a state government job. I've been working in state government for about 15, 16 years, but I don't really have a lot I don't have a rainy day fund. My grandmothers always taught me, to save, but that's all they knew was just to save. Right. But they didn't really know how to diversify their income as well. And so, but they always said, you better save for a rainy day. But unfortunately, if you don't have the means to, you can't.
Right. Well,
you live paycheck to paycheck.
Yes, that's been the tradition, and especially in a lot of the African American communities. But we need to back up just a moment, and I need to congratulate you on the publication of your brand new book.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited about this project. The book is called Generation Z. You've Got Options: A Beginner's Guide for Kids into Investing and Trading. About 7 years ago, like I said, I was trying to figure out, what type of extra things that I could do for income. And I knew I really couldn't get another job because, who would raise my kids at that point if I'm working already from 8 to 6. And so I was in church one day, and I feel like I have the best pastors in the world. Everybody should. But I was really in church, and we was at a financial conference that my pastor, Dr. Deshaun, and Pastor Deborah Rouse of Spirit-Filled Ambassadors for Christ Church in Andrews, South Carolina.
Wonderful church, by the way.
Yes, I love my church.
Great.
And they were doing a financial conference, and he was talking about, investing and credit and IRAs and stocks and just showing us what it is that he's been doing for a good bit of years that's been helping him and his family. And, he's like a guru to me of finances. And so he was showing us what he shows his clients on how to make more money. And I just was like, oh my God, this was like a light bulb just came off.
Wonderful.
And so I started to get into the stocks, the market and credit and all of that. I started to get more involved in it and learn the skill set.
Well, you said something, Ms. Newell, you said something that really resonates. You said that your church was doing a workshop on financial education, and that's something that a lot of churches do not do. So I think that was a perfect choice.
One thing about my church that I love is not only do, we get taught the Word of God and, and we get taught the Bible and the things of God and kingdom work, but we also do financial teachings. We do marriage teachings, singles, ministry. We have our youth department that's just explosive. And then, we do different things like that. Carnivals, circuses, giveaways. It's a lot of things.
Very multifaceted church. Now,
it is definitely that.
Yes.
Very innovative. Right. And, so I love the ministry, and it's really been a blessing to my life and my children's life because they want to go to church. A lot of kids
don't want to go. They dread it. It's a job.
Right. But they love the ministry. And so I was just thankful that he did that teaching because it changed my life.
Okay.
And so now that I'm in this space of investing and trading and, in the financial realm, I've been doing it for about 7 years now. And, thank God that I've now been able to retire from the skill sets that I've learned
at such a young age. Wow.
Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I retired at about 34, I think I was. And I'll be 39 next week.
Wow. That's phenomenal to be able to retire at such a young age. Now, the name of your book, Generation Z, who are you catering to?
So with Generation Z, I started to realize after I learned this skill set, I was starting to teach my kids, right? I was starting to teach my kids and my niece about how to look at the market now. Because I started to realize, what was I doing this for? I was doing this for my children to be able to, have them have a great life and set them up for success early. Right. And so I started to realize, well, if I was able to help my girls learn this skill set, why not help everyone in America or everyone in the world's kids learn early? Because they can learn early. Now, they can't get into the market until they're legally 18, but they can learn the skill set now and practice.
Right. So now is the time. Now is the time to learn. That's a brilliant idea to start teaching first your kids and then branching out to teaching other kids by way of your new book, Generation Z. Tell us what's in the book. Right. What can we look forward to?
In the book, I put the book like a video game because I started to think, how am I going to grasp their attention to learn a skill set? And then I started to realize my kids love video games. And so I put the book in like a video game form, teaching them the skill sets. I teach them what is the market, how to invest, how to look at the actual charts, how to get in and out of the market and even be profitable after they do their own analysis. And so I take them from knowing nothing to, by the end of that book, they will be able to understand the skill set way better. And they are even able to practice on a demo account and started to grow it and see what they can do.
Oh, wow. That's a great tool. And not only are you putting them in the learning mindset, but you're also giving them that thought that it's important to invest. We're taught to save, but to invest, you have something to save. Our grandmothers, great grandmothers, they had very little, so they were taught to hold on to what they did have. So I'm glad that you're changing that mindset. So,
right. That's what my grandmothers taught me, to hold, save and hold, save and hold. But a lot of the times, a lot of people can't do that. They don't have a 6-month rainy day fund. They don't have, something that they can just, if something happens to a car or something happens to my kid need braces or whatever, they don't have that income in the bank to even do anything with. So my thought process was, the less that I have to pay out when my kid get 18, the better. So if I teach them the skill set, then that's the less that I have to do.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You have your daughter and your niece with you today. Would you please introduce them?
Okay, so first up is my daughter. Her name is Renaya. Say hi, Renaya.
Hi, Renaya.
And then I have my niece Madison with me.
Hello, Madison. Thank you, young ladies, for helping us out today. How has the book helped you in learning how to invest and trade as a kid?
My experience has been amazing. Learning how to make my own money. Like, I'm young and know how to make money at my age, and I'm not waiting till I'm older to do that.
Wonderful. Now, Madison, can you answer? I'm sorry, that was Madison. Renaya, can you answer that same question? How has the book helped you?
Help me learn now to make money now, so when I get older, it can be easier.
Wonderful. Congratulations, girls. What do you think about the book?
It tells you everything. It tells you everything you need to know about learning how to trade and kids.
Okay. Well, Ms. Newell, I guess these girls know a lot more about trading than many adults do.
That was the purpose.
Wow. That is amazing. That is truly amazing. And it's going to break that domino effect from generation to generation. So congratulations to you on the book.
Thank you.
And we want to give you the opportunity to elaborate a little bit more on what's in the book and who it can help and how we can get it.
Okay. So, as I said previously, the book is for, and to be honest with you, I've had some adults even purchase the book because they said that they want to learn at a kid beginner's level.
That's reasonable.
The book is right, exactly. So I told them, hey, by all means, do what you feel. But the book is catered to children, and it could be, from ages about probably 5 or 6 to at least 17 or 18. But to be honest, it's for anyone that wants to learn how to start investing and trading into this market. This market has been around for centuries, and so it's a good reason why a lot of people continue to stay wealthy. And so in the book, as I said, we take you from not knowing anything. Some people don't even know that the foreign exchange market even exists, let alone it has been here so long. And so I put in the book, what is the market? How to get in? What they can trade. I talk about cryptocurrency. I talk about the stock. I talk about all of that in the book. And then I actually show them a visual illustration on what they should be looking for, the patterns, the trends, who actually even makes up the market, how they can be profitable by learning the actual strategies. I even put a strategy in the book for them to learn. And then I also show them the different tools and the different resources that help me. And then the things that I've actually taught my niece and my daughter, I showed them in the book as well. And so it's a good read. It's only $19.99. To be honest with you, you spend more at McDonald's than you spend on this. But I promise you, if you allow your child to get this book, and even adults, if you want to start learning at a beginner's pace, grab this book. It will definitely help you. It'll have you more knowledgeable about a market that literally generates trillions of dollars a day. The foreign exchange market is the most powerful financial market on this planet. And so I am urging everyone to show your kid now, show your children now. Don't wait until they're 18, 19, 20, and then you're trying to figure out how to assist them. Assist them now, especially during this summertime, because instead of them looking at TikTok or Instagram, you can actually say, hey, for an hour, let's read this book. Let's go into the website, practice, so that you will be ahead of the game.
Right.
They can purchase the book.
Yeah, that's something that's going to benefit their future.
Exactly. Listen, that's the purpose of us being parents. We have to be able to set them up. We can't wait for other people to set our children up. If we know better, we're supposed to do better. And so I'm just sharing the information that I've received and I've learned over the years, and hopefully it will be able to help and bless other people as well.
Well, it sounds I'm sorry, it sounds like your book is very, very thorough. And you were about to tell us where we can get this book?
Yes, ma'am. They can get the book from www.buildersofwealth.com. That's www.buildersofwealth.com. And they'll see it. It says shop here. And I have a couple of other ebooks as well as this hard copy book as well on the website. But the hard copy book is right there in the front. All you have to do is just go to www.buildersofwealth.com and you'll see it, grab it, and I pray that it blesses you just like it has blesses my family as well.
I'm sure it will. And you recently had a group sale, am I correct?
I did. I sold to, there's a couple of after-school programs actually in different states that has picked the book up, and they have been going over the book. And then I actually also teach and I coach people in this space. So I have over about 200 clients right now that I show this skill set to, adults.
Wonderful. Well, I mentioned the group because it may spark an idea for maybe a church group that's listening. Would be a good investment for them.
Correct. And I actually have I have a meeting this week with a couple of school district superintendents in other counties to talk about, putting the book into the schools as well. So I'm just, just doing what I felt God has instructed me to do with the skill sets that I have. But, I just said information into their brains now is not going to hurt them at all. It's only going to help.
Absolutely. Well, again, we congratulate you on what you've accomplished. And again, that website is buildersofwealth.com to get a copy of the book, Generation Z. And you're also available for speaking engagements.
I am. If they go to www.buildersofwealth.com, you'll see a services portion tab of the website. And, I'm able to be booked for webinars, seminars, speaking engagements. Like I said, even with the schools that I have purchasing my book, I'm actually going to be going to do a in-live person training session with those particular kids. And so I'm available for that as well, and available for coaching. I have an actual coaching program that I actually coach adults as well. So they can get all of that information and contact me, www.buildersofwealth.com, or they can send a text message or a call to 803-795-8361. So it's buildersofwealth.com, or they can reach me on the telephone as well.
Okay, give that number again, Ms. Newell.
803-795-8361.
Okay, so they have the website and a phone number to contact you for speaking engagements or to purchase Generation Z. Now, tell us about, this is a two-part question, Ms. Shaneka Newell. What were some of your challenges as you started this journey of learning about investing and writing your book? And what would you say to that person who has a book in their heart, in their soul, but they're having a hard time getting started, getting motivated?
I would say to any aspiring authors out there, everyone has a story. And a lot of times we don't realize that our story or our journey will be able to help others. And to be honest with you, it's not as hard as people think to actually become an author and write a book. I always say, if you're writing down in your journal daily or weekly, most people create books from their journals, right? From the things that they write down and they jot down from here to here. And so I would say to first start writing stuff down. Write down all of the things that, you may be experiencing throughout your day, your month, your year. Write them down. And then start to compile different chapters, because every piece of your journal can be another chapter to your book. And so then after you've done that and you've compiled all of your, writings and journals and stuff together, then you can find a nice publishing company to actually get with the editing team and the authors, and then they come together and they help you with the grammar, they help you with your wording, they help you with, getting your sentences and your flow together, and then you create a whole masterpiece of inspiration for someone else.
Well, I like
so it's not that hard.
I like the way you call it a masterpiece.
Correct.
Yes, because it's definitely going to help somebody. Yes, it's going to help somebody.
They just have to start.
Yes.
You just got to start.
Right. Well, I'd like for the girls to come back and share any closing remarks, anything you'd like to say to young people who you think should learn about trading. What would you say to inspire them?
I would say that it's better for them to start young, so as they get older and older, their skills are developed and they're better.
Yes. Thank you. And that's Renaya?
That's Madison.
That's Madison. Okay. Renaya, what would you say?
I would tell them it's important because you need to start now and build your money now and be ready for when you are older.
Absolutely. Thank you, Madison. Thank you, Renaya, so very much for sharing with us today. And Miss Shaneka Newell, you're doing a great job, and I know that you're going to continue to do so. You're impacting young people, old people. You're impacting everyone, so that's a job well done.
Thank you so much. I appreciate this. I appreciate you having me. Like I said before, I'm just trying to empower the next generation.
And you are. Thank you so much. And we thank our listeners for joining us for Perspective. We ask that you tune in again next Sunday, same time, for another edition of Perspective on WTUA.
You've been listening to Perspective with your host, Lynette Nelson. To suggest show topics, please email us info@WTUAradio.com. That's info@WTUAradio.com. The views and opinions shared on this broadcast are not necessarily those of Praise Communications, its staff, or management. Join us next week for another edition of Perspective on WTUA Power 106.